Hello and welcome back to the Snakebite. It is our weekly sports show that airs every Wednesday at noon. I'm John Kristovich with James Simpson. We could not be happier to bring you today's edition. The swim teams are back in action. The cross-country teams just got back from North Carolina, and the women's soccer team is riding high on a 4-game winning streak. All that and more. Here is this week's edition of the Snakebite.
John mentioned the women's soccer team is currently riding a 4-game winning streak, their longest in over a decade. Let's take a look at how they did this week along with the rest of our teams. Most of the squads were back in action this week as we saw the indoor volleyball team return to competition on the road, while men's and women's soccer teams both went undefeated, with the two men's side taking 2 draws. The swim teams competed well on the road in the first conference meet of the season, and then women's golf team traveled to resume play post-hurricane. Let's talk a little more about this women's soccer team that is making some waves in the Sunshine State Conference.
Yeah, that's right, James. For a city that's located in the middle of the state, they sure are making waves. They're first in the conference with a record of 4-1-1, with an overall record of 8-1-3 after a huge week that saw them win 3 games. Let's start with last Tuesday's 1-0 victory over St. Leo, which saw freshman Angelina Coelho score her 3rd game-winning goal of the season to lift her team. Then, the very next night, that Mocs team tore apart Edwards Waters with 6 different goal scorers in a 7-0 victory. However, the crowning achievement of the week had to have been the 3-2 win over Palm Beach Atlantic on the road this past week.
Yeah, John, after letting a 2-goal lead slip away, Lindsey Meyer put on some miraculous moves in the box to set up Brooke Lowry, who scored to give the Mocs the win with a strike in the 89th minute. The top 6 teams in the conference qualify for the Sunshine State Conference Tournament, and the Mocs are in a position where they could clinch a playoff spot by the end of the week. They'll play Eckerd College tonight before facing Atlantis University on senior night this Saturday. And that's a team that's firing on all cylinders, and remember, just 2 months ago, they were picked to finish dead last in the conference. Today, they're at the top, and the Mocs women's soccer team will play tonight at home at 7 p.m.
And on the men's side, James, the team is still looking for their first conference win of the year, but don't be fooled. They've tied their last 3 opponents, including 2 very highly ranked teams in Palm Beach Atlantic and Florida Tech. They're firmly in the middle of the pack in the Sunshine State Conference, trying to qualify for that end-of-season tournament, looking to get 3 points tonight against Eckerd College before taking on Trinity College in a non-conference game this coming Monday night. Henry Topoven had the lone goal for the Mocs in their draw with PBA. It was a penalty kick after Kyle Carr drew the foul in the box. The Mocs staved off a relentless sailfish attack while playing down a man in the second half. Our Carl Van Gelder talked to Carr after the hard-fought draw.
Hey guys, thank you. I'm here with Kyle Carr today. The Mocs tied 1-1. What was your game plan going into the game today, with it being a crucial conference matchup?
We wanted to press high and really get our numbers forward and stuff, and they played a 3 in the back, so it was really crucial that we get in behind and stuff. And it was going to be a dogfight straight from the start, and playing down to 10 men really sucked, but our defense played amazing tonight. Our goalkeeper played amazing. Just everybody from the bench to the coaches, just amazing tonight.
You talked about maintaining that pressure up top. Both teams played with a lot of pressure, pushing up the forwards and even at some point the defenders to midfield. How do you think that contributed to just the first PK goal today that you helped draw, and then the other goal throughout this game?
Yeah, I mean, they came in and they thought they were going to get an easy win, but when they come in here, they're going to have a dogfight. And pressing high was the game plan just from the start, and that made them nervous. Gave away the ball a lot of times in the back and stuff, and we were able to pounce on a good ball by Mateus and stuff, and was able to draw the PK.
Yeah, you just talked about the physicality of the game today. How do you think that physicality kind of related to the tensions that we could see in the game today?
Yeah, there was a lot of tension, a lot of talk from the other team and stuff, but it's like that every single game, and we're going to come out here and we're going to give it our all, and we're not thinking about that. We just brush that aside, and we just stick with our game plan and listen to our coaches.
And one more thing for you today. You guys used the long ball very frequently, and that helped contribute to the PK goal. What was the purpose with that, and are you guys hoping to continue that in the future?
Yeah, I mean, it was a good ball, perfectly timed ball and stuff. But with the 3 in the back, they were very open down on the flanks and stuff, and we tried to utilize that in our game plan. And was able to get in behind and stuff, and that's really like I thrive at, is getting in behind the defense, and was able to do that. And I'm glad Henry came up and scored.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Always a great interview with Kyle Carr. And the men's team is back in action tonight as they travel to 𝙏𝙃𝙀 College.
Well, the women's volleyball team was in action last night, but unfortunately wrapped up the game after our production time. The team dropped their lone contest of the week to Palm Beach Atlantic on Saturday evening and now moved to 8-7 on the year. It's been an up and down season for this Moccasin team, which has shown flashes of brilliance at times, but has found themselves on an unfortunate 3-game skid before last night's match. After playing Rollins last night, the team is set to travel to Hoover, Alabama for the Sunshine State Gulf South Conference crossover, where they'll play 3 games this weekend.
And we mentioned earlier that the swim teams began their conference schedule this past weekend as they competed at the Shark Invitational, hosted by Nova Southeastern. The women finished in 3rd, defeating Savannah College of Art and Design, St. Thomas University, and SSC rival Florida Tech. In the crowded field, the Mocs put together numerous top 8 finishes against a couple of powerhouses here in the South region. The men's team fared well too, coming in 2nd as they competed for the first time this season, and they had a couple of first-place finishers at that meet, with Brandon Wilson taking 1st in the 100-yard backstroke and Matteo Zampisi winning the 100 breast. Both teams will compete again this Friday at the Nina B. Hollis Wellness Center at 3 p.m. against Rollins College.
In cross-country news, the men's and women's team both competed at the Royals Cross Country Challenge hosted by Queens University in Charlotte, North Carolina this past week. The extremely crowded field saw the men's team finish 5th out of 28 teams, 9 of which competed at the Division I level. The women's team fared well too, taking 8th as Emma Musanti crushed her personal best time with her 23rd overall finish. These are 2 teams that are really excited, chomping at the bit for postseason championship season coming up. It should be a fun one.
That'll just about do it for this week, and that means it's time for our Week in Mocs History segment. And today we are looking at October 14th, 2000, when women's soccer goalkeeper Lacey Emmerling made a school record 23 saves in a match against Barry. And hey, Jenny Staten's got 5 wins this year, 4 shutouts for the Mocs in goal, and she's getting a start tonight. Mocs versus Eckerd at home, 7 p.m. It is another big week for the Moccasins across the board. Water ski heads to nationals. Both soccer teams are going to have the chance to climb the standings, and the volleyball team looks to change course. Should be fun. John Kristovich and James Simpson saying thank you so much for joining us here at FSC TV, and we will see you next Wednesday at noon.